A very good morning to all. So, in the previous class, we were discussing about the two forms of governments of the Janapadas and the Mahajanapadas. And we also discussed about the agriculture and taxation. So, today we will continue from page number 45 and we will be discussing about trade and urbanization. So, what do you understand by trade and urbanization? Here, trade means buying and selling of goods and services, and urbanization means making an area urban. That means making an area develop. So, as we have discussed in the previous class that there was an increase in the production of grains by the use of iron tools and also by the use of paddy transplantation technique. And here a large part of it was collected as taxes, where some of it was traded in the form of commodities. That means it was exported to other kingdoms. And the goods produced by the craftsmen were carried long distance by the merchants. And here the merchants, they travel by cart or sail down the sea. As you all know that most of the cities were located on the river banks, and they might have used the punch marked coins as a medium of exchange. And here the merchants, they organized themselves into associations or guilds which were known as shrenis. So here the guilds were responsible for obtaining the raw material which were used for manufacturing the final product, and the guilds, they were also responsible for controlling the demand of the people. They were also responsible for the distribution of the final product. So here the merchants, they organized themselves into associations or guilds which were known as shreni. So here, as the population increased, the number of villages also increased and the villages, they grew in size. And each village had a headman, and the headmen were known as Gramini or Gramika. And here the headman was a link between the village and the king. And sometimes these villages developed into towns and cities, particularly if they were famous for certain type of crafts. And the emergence of towns and cities in North India, especially during this period, that is approximately 500 BCE onwards, is referred to as second urbanization. So, the first was related to the Harappan civilization. So, here we discussed about trade and urbanization. Next, we will discuss about the society. Here, the social setup of the Janas and Mahajanapadas were similar to that of the later Vedic period. So, here the society was divided on 4 varnas, that is Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. But this division was not skill based and it became hereditary. That means a Brahman son can only be the Brahman and perform the duty assigned to the Brahman. So, this was about society. Next, we will discuss about religion. So, here the period between 600 BCE and 300 BCE was one of religious turmoil and change. Here turmoil means extremely confusion stage. So, here during this period the religion was very complex and lots of changes held in the religion. In this age, the Brahmins, they started ruling the society and they began to dominate the religious practices. So, here they encouraged complex rituals, elaborate sacrifices. Here elaborate means lengthy sacrifices, expensive ceremonies and the Varna system, and they also emphasized on the importance of the Vedas. And because of these things, the people were unhappy and they started opting for other new religion. And during this period, 2 new religions, that is Buddhism and Jainism, became popular. So, this was about the religion. Next, we will do the case study about the Kingdom of Magadha and the Republic of Vajji. So first we will discuss about the Kingdom of Magadha. So here Magadha emerged the most important Mahajanapada, and it was located in the present day Bihar, and it also enjoyed many natural advantages, like this kingdom, that is the Kingdom of Magadha, was located on the junction of river Ganga and river Son. So water was available for drinking, cultivation and for transportation. And the Kingdom of Magadha was also located on the Gangetic plains. And you all know that the Gangetic plain is one of the most fertile area in the whole world because of the presence of alluvial soil, which helps in cultivating different types of crops. This area also had large deposits of iron ore, and the people, they used these iron ores for making iron implements which were used in agriculture, and also they made weapons for war. So this area was also thickly forested. So the forests were source for wood and elephants, and these elephants were used for expanding the Magadhan Empire. Now here this Kingdom of Magadha was lastly ruled by some strong rulers like King Bimsara and Ajitashatru from the Haryanka dynasty. So let's now discuss about them. So first we will discuss about Bimsara. Bimsara was the first great ruler of the Magadhan Empire from the Haryanka dynasty, and he ruled the Kingdom of Magadha from 544 BCE to 493 BCE. And during his time, the capital of the Kingdom of Magadha was Girivraja or Rajagriha, and he made Magadha a powerful kingdom by various means, like he married princesses of other kingdoms. He also conquered those kingdoms who were not friendly with him, and he also encouraged trade, and he also improved the means of transportation, and he also used irons for making weapons. So by all these means he was successful to make the Kingdom of Magadha an important Mahajanapada. So this was about Bimsara. Next, let's discuss about Ajitashatru. Here Ajitashatru was Bimsara's son, and he became the king in 493 BCE after killing his own father, that is after killing King Bimsara, and this is recorded as the first case of patricide in ancient India. Here patricide means the act of killing his own father. So here it is recorded as the first case of patricide in ancient India. And King Ajitashatru was very ambitious, and he wanted to expand the Magadhan kingdom, and for this he attacked the king of Khosla and the Lichavi Ghanasanga, even though both the rulers were friendly and related to him. And at that time the capital of Magadha was Rajagriha, or the modern day Rajagir in Bihar. And later a new capital in the form of water fort or Jaladurga was built at Pataliputra by Ajitashatru successors. So lastly, the Kingdom of Magadha was ruled by some strong rulers like Bimsara and Ajitashatru. Later on, Magadha's power expanded under Shaishunaga and Nanda dynasty. So here you can see the picture of King Shaishunaga and the last ruler of Nanda dynasty, that is King Nanda. So this was about the Shaishunaga and Nanda dynasty. And this Nanda dynasty, they had massive army which consisted of many elephants, chariots and foot soldiers. And here the Nanda dynasty, they had full control over the entire Gangetic plain from their capital in Pataliputra. And they were also cruel, that means they exercised their power in cruel manner, and they were unpopular. And because of this, it was easy for Chandragupta Maurya to overthrow the Nanda dynasty and he laid the foundation of Mauryan dynasty. So this was about the kingdom of Magadha. Next, we'll discuss about the Vajji kingdom. So here the Republic of Vajji or Vajji state, that means it was not ruled by a king or monarch, but it was ruled by a group of people or a group of a council, and this group was known as Gana or Sangha, and the members of this Gana or this assembly were known as the Rajas, and the Gana, they met several times in a year to discuss and to decide about any matter. And here the Vajjians or the Vajji kingdom consisted of a group of 8 states, but among them the Lichavi, the Videha, the Janatrika and the Vajjis were important. Here the Lichavis ruled over the area that was located to the north of river Ganga in Bihar, and at that time the capital of Lichavi was Vaishali, which is located in modern Basra in Vaishali district in North Bihar, and this Lichavi was also the political headquarter of the Vajji kingdom. Here the Lichavis were the follower of Gautam Buddha, and they were also closely related to the Magadhans, and for administrative purposes there was a smaller body called the Council of Ministers, and it had members called Raja, Upraja, Senapati and Bhandarika. So these were the members of the Council of Ministers. However, women, dasas and slaves and landless agricultural laborers who were known as karmakaras were excluded from the Lichavi assembly. And the Lichavis, they were brave and warlike. That means it was difficult to defeat them in war. Even Ajitashatru was unable to defeat the Lichavis in an open war, and that's why he sent his minister named Vasakara to secretly weaken the trust among the Lichavis. So here in page number 47, you can see a painting that shows a meeting between Bimsara and Buddha. And here Gautam Buddha praised the Vajjians and the system of choosing the ruler, and he also said that nobody should conquer or attack them until they maintain this political system. So this was about the Vajji kingdom. Next, you can see you have an activity. The activity is talk about the dark ages in Greece, given in page number 48. Record and submit in Teams. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.